Hello, my name is Susan. I am a tour guide here at Vikingsholm, and this is my 9th season doing this. I moved to Lake Tahoe in 1986, met my husband my first winter here, and since then I haven't left, and we're going on 38 years of being married. And he's actually coming up on his 50th year anniversary at Heavenly Ski Resort. So he is a longtime local here. Curtis Kezich, yes. I worked for the city of South Lake Tahoe, park supervisor, and 2016 retired after 31 years and ended up down here at Vikingsholm 2 weeks later. It just fell in my lap, the job, and I love it here. It's really captured my heart, and I really enjoy learning the story of the lives that went on here at Vikingsholm. Her name was Lora J. She built Vikingsholm in 1929, but she was originally from the Chicago area, born there in 1864. Now she married a lawyer, Mr. James Moore, at the age of 18, and they made all their wealth in the stock market. Did very well in the stock market. U.S. Steel, American Express, Nabisco, they had all the big names. But unfortunately in 1910, their only son passed away suddenly at the age of 25. And when they lost their son, they decided to spend more time out here on the West Coast, bought property down at Santa Barbara at Montecito, and started plans to build a beautiful estate down there. Now, Mr. Moore never got to see that estate. He did pass after 32 years of marriage in 1916. That was a very good marriage for Lora, but she did remarry a second time to a friend of the family, Harry Knight. And that marriage wasn't so smooth, we'll say. It was a little rocky. And she ended up divorcing him in 1927. But right after the divorce is when she bought the property here at Emerald Bay. So she was single and in her mid-60s when she started on this project. Now at that time, this property was owned by two women, mother and daughter, the Armstrongs, and they were running a fishing resort here in the summertime. Now Lora came over to visit with them one day and ended up buying their property. She got 239 acres in 1928 at a cost of $250,000. Now that property included all of this shoreline out here on both sides of the bay out to the island. It's the highway to secure water rights up there. And the island was included too. And this was just a summer home. 1929, that summer, they brought in 200 men to work on this project. Now, they enjoyed the property for 14 summers. 1945, Lora J. arrived on her 15th summer and passed suddenly here at the house at the age of 82. Now, when she passed away, she was one of the richest women in the nation. She is a very kind, generous woman, but the charity that was closest to Lora J.'s heart was sending young women through college. That wasn't happening too much back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and she opened that door wide for a lot of young women to go to college. But when she passed away, Vikingsholm got offered up to her family, and nobody wanted it. They all passed on it. It's a great place to be a guest at, you know, but when you own it, that's a whole different thing. So it did end up being sold to Harvey West, a lumberman down in Placerville. Used it as a vacation home with his family. And when he got the home, it did include all of Lora J.'s furniture, and he kept it all original. But after 5 years, it got to be too much for him. So in 1953, he started discussions with the state of California, reached an agreement in 1954. He sold them everything, and the state of California paid Harvey West $125,000 because he had decided this needed to be saved and enjoyed in the future. So thank you, Harvey West, for doing that. But a lot of Lake Tahoe got clear cut to provide wood down to the mines in Virginia City. So there are pockets of these old growth trees, and we're very fortunate to be one of those. Lora J.'s version of a Scandinavian village. It's something that really impressed me about Lora J. She would encourage her guests during the day to sit down and relax and just take in the beautiful scenery. This is what was important to Lora J. Back section represents an 11th century church that she saw in Norway. To protect it. Created a lot of the Viking folklore into her design here, and I think it keeps it raw as native to Lake Tahoe. So these are called crown chimneys. It's a Scandinavian design, but each one is different. No two are alike. And some of that we believe is due to the Viking folklore that if your chimneys were different, then the spirits would have a harder time finding their way into your home. So it's all about confusing those spirits. Yes. And to your tour. You're welcome.